Easy author content idea. I want you to tell an author story. Readers are obsessed with the author lifestyle and they want to know what's going on in the real life of authors. So now's your time to tell your story. You need to start with a hook. You're never going to believe what happened, or this is the coolest thing that happened to me as an author. Something that's going to get their attention, and make sure you're using that word author in there because that stops the scroll. And now you're going to tell your story. This can be anything that happened at a book signing or in an event. This can go behind the scenes of how you experienced something real life after you wrote your book that then connected back to your story. We're not necessarily leaning too heavily into this is what inspired the book, because that's more of a book story than an author story. We want to tell real stories of what happens as an author. So you are going to start off with that hook, and then you're going to tell your story short and sweet. One of the ones that I like to tell a lot is something that happened at a book signing. Once upon a time, we all heard a scream across the ballroom, and this girl comes running through the ballroom. She careens around the room, and you're going to use words. You're going to be very descriptive about this. You want to make them feel like they're actually experiencing this. So this girl screams across the ballroom, everybody turns to look, and she comes careening around the aisles of people. Now, we knew she was coming in our direction, but we didn't know where she was going until she got close enough that her face turned and we saw her looking at my aisle. She was either coming to me or one of the two authors next to me, and we were not sure who until she collided with me. Now, she was so excited to meet me. She screamed, she almost fainted. We had to make sure we kept her upright, and one of the other authors actually had to watch her in my chair. She went behind my table, sat down in the chair, and the other author, one of my friends, had to watch her and make sure she wasn't, ill or anything bad was happening, or that nothing, it wasn't like some kind of scam to get to the money underneath the table, things like that. Because I had another line of people waiting to meet me. And so I had this great story, and I tell it in different ways, and I lean into different parts of it depending on what I'm telling. But I talk about the time that a girl screamed, ran at me, nearly fainted, and then she ran off before she could tell me her name. So we had a nice conversation. She knew who I was. She came specifically to meet me, but unfortunately, I never learned her name, or she never reached out after the fact. And so I lean into the different aspects of that when I'm telling my story in different ways so that you can tell this over and over and over again. But this week, I want you to come up with a story that's really cool from your author career. Again, it's going to be something related to an experience that you've had as an author, an encounter with a fan, something really cool that you appreciate that was sent to you, a gift, fan art, a nice letter, something like that. It can be on the scarier side of author life too. Whatever you want to make this, tell those stories. Now keep it short, keep it simple, have that hook, and get it down to a 30-second story that just has the highlights. And then if you're doing something like a built-out YouTube video, you can give more of those examples as well. Or you can use the different aspects for different versions of the conversation that you continue to have throughout your author career. All authors should have a staple handful of stories to be sharing when people ask what author life is really like. And they can range from the mundane to the exciting to the scary. Somebody traveled across the world to meet me at a book signing. That's really cool. Some authors will have conversations about the scarier side of things. You can have conversations about the really cool fan art that you got. There's so many things that you can lean into and have those conversations about based on your author career, because readers and aspiring authors really want to know what it's like. So create your story, tell your story, get it out there quickly, and then a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, tell it again, but tell it in a different way. People lean into these stories, they love the stories, and when you add more details or you add more layers to it, even the people who have already heard it will want to hear it again and again and again because they keep discovering new things every time you tell it in a slightly different way. Follow along for more easy author marketing ideas so that you can put out content on social media without the time, without the stress commitments, without all the drama surrounding marketing we know most authors are not too keen on. We want to make this easy for you so you can make this your most profitable year ever with daily videos helping you navigate the world of publishing so that you can thrive while also writing your novels. We'll see you in the next episode.